Kitabu cha Dr. Reginald Abraham Mengi kitwacho I Can, I Must, I Will sasa kinapatikana kwenye maduka ya kuuza vitabu yafuatayo: Dar es Salaam, A Novel Idea, Slipway Msasani, Yacht Club Road, Msasani Peninsula, The Book Cave, Mbezi Rainbow, Social Club, Ara Museum Offices, Ikunda Bookshop, Kariakoo mtaa wa Mhonda, House of Wisdom, Mezzanine nambari 22 NHC House, Samora Avenue, Dar es Salaam, MacBooks and Brains, Mlimani City Mall, duka nambari 44, Dar es Salaam, TPH Books, barabara ya Samora, Elite Bookstore, Mbezi njia panda Goba, Mlimani Bookshop, Kariakoo mtaa wa Sikukuu na Lindi, Timiza Malengo, Ubungo Kona, Chuo Kikuu, Bookmart Online Shop, Instagram, Bookmart TZ, Twitter, Bookmart 1, Jamani Investment Limited, Nyerere Road, Airport Terminal 2, Shinyanga, Kahama Bookshop Center, mtaa wa Lumerezi, Arusha, Kase Bookstore, mtaa wa Sekei, A Novel Idea, TFA Center, Arusha Tanzania, Dodoma, Lugarawa Bookshop, Dodoma mjini, barabara ya 8, Moshi, Ape Bookshop, Moshi mjini, Christian Bookshop, Moshi mjini.
Wahi nakala yako sasa kwenye duka lolote lililopo karibu nawe.
It's Culinary Delights every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. only on Capital Television.
News tonight. President Magufuli lays foundation stone for Kimara Kibaha Road Expansion Project. Primary school teachers to go on strike in Kenya. And a draw procedure for Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations take place in Dar es Salaam tomorrow. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. First, the national news. The President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Dr. John Pombe Magufuli, has said that the government will not pay compensation to residents whose homes were demolished in the area of the Morogoro Road, and instructed politicians to explain the truth about the area to the residents and not to politicize the issue. Now, President Magufuli made those remarks while he was laying the foundation stone for the expansion of the Kimara Kibaha Road, where he said that the government will not pay compensation to all those whose homes were demolished after listening to requests from the MP of Kibamba, John Mnyika, and the MP for Ubungo Side, Kubene. Early on, Minister for Construction, Transport and Communications, Isaac Kamwele, told the President about the various taken and also about other measures which have been reviewed in the goal to finish the project.
You must not tell lies. People do in every gathering, such as this one. That is why someone can stand up and demand that people should be compensated so that he can be seen as a hero, when he very well knows that there is no compensation. I assure you that there will be no compensation. It is better for everyone to be told the truth, so those who are ready can leave early rather than lie to them and end up having their houses demolished. I implore you, Honorable President, in giving priority to human kindness, to think about compensating the people when constructing the 8-road network. 50,000 vehicles use this road every day. When you add motorcycles and tricycles, the number rises to 70,000 per day. Hence the need to construct this new road network. This road also connects all regions, like the central region going to Morogoro, Dodoma, Singida, Shinyanga, and to our neighboring countries such as Burundi.
Residents of 50 wards in 4 villages at Kimthamba and Ivuna ward, Momba district, Songo region have nowhere to stay after their homes were swept away by rains accompanied by strong winds, which also caused destruction of harvest. The villages affected include Mkonko, Samangombe, Kasamba and Lwatwe, where the victims have asked the government to provide them with emergency food aid as well as shelter.
As you can see, this is very hard for everyone. In addition, we lost food in the rain. We ask if the government can help us to do so. In this village, 12 houses have been affected, but also other villages nearby have been affected too. In total, 50 houses have been damaged.
Mpaka sasa hivi serikali bado tunafanya tathmini ya kina kutoka kujua kabisa.
So far we are carrying out an assessment to see how many houses have been damaged. Families with no place to stay, we have asked neighbors to shelter them. We are also using schools and churches.
A group of 203 illegal Ethiopian immigrants who had been in prison in Coast region have started to be deported back to their home countries today and tomorrow. This comes after the illegal Ethiopian immigrants had finished serving their prison sentences. The Ethiopian immigrants are being deported as a result of the cooperation between the Immigration Department of the International Office of Migration, IOM, in the United Nations. Speaking while the exercise to deport the second group of 37 illegal immigrants was in progress, the Commissioner of Immigration and Passport, Gerald Kihinga, called upon the immigrants to be ambassadors in their home countries where the fight against illegal immigration is concerned.
Leo tutakuwa na zoezi la kuwasafirisha.
Today we shall be transporting back Ethiopians, illegal migrants. We have at least 203 who are serving prison terms in Pwani and have finished. We shall do so in 4 groups.
Wametusaidia kuwasafirisha.
203 Ethiopian migrants are going to be returned home. This is being done with This is being facilitated by the International Organization for Migration, the UN Migration Agency, and this was done with the support of the EU and the government of Germany. The 203 migrants are here, they're present with us, and they're going to be returning home. The arrangements for their voluntary return were done in collaboration with the officials from the Embassy of the Federal Government of Ethiopia and also officials from the Immigration Services of the United Republic of Tanzania, which facilitated their exit formalities, and the Ethiopian government issued travel documents for the migrants.
Agents collected money but abandoned us, so we spent time in jail. We faced a lot of problems. We are thankful to the Tanzania Immigration Service.
The Special Force dealing with illegal fishing at Lake Victoria in Mara region has successfully captured a large consignment of small Nile perch that were fished from the river illegally and were being transported to various markets in and out of Mara region.
I warned those who this consignment was intended for, Nyakato and Senane markets. They received this consignment, after which they sell it in hiding. They are the very people who make this sort of trade thrive. I warn those involved, for this kind of trade is forbidden. We are fighting illegal fishermen in our region. As you can see, this causes a lot of harm to fish. When you catch small fish such as this one, there is a lot of damage. So we shall keep fighting illegal fishing.
The East African Community EAC is dealing with enormous poverty due to the decline of contributions by member countries. The problem has meant that workers in the EAC have not received their salaries and various bonuses. East African Legislative Assembly MPs Dr. Makame Abdullah of Tanzania and Kennedy Musyoka of Kenya say that in addition to the fact that some member countries contribute only a small amount of money, other member states have simply not contributed anything at all. To date, Kenya leads with EAC member states with its contribution of 80%, and it is followed by Uganda with 53%, while Tanzania is third with a contribution of 52%. Rwanda occupies fourth place with a contribution of 25%, while Burundi and South Sudan do not contribute any funds at all.
When you speak that 6 nations are contributing equally and then only 3 have given, it means that 50% of the budget. Delay of submitting of those contributions affect the activities which were already arranged. But there is also alternatives. There is this mechanism used by AU, which we can also use, isn't the work. One of the solutions is to check better ways of contributing. We should look what others are doing and find better ways.
Over 200 families in various parts of Tanga have no certain place to live after their homes were surrounded by water from rains that fell for 4 consecutive hours, causing a halt in various economic activities. Now speaking at Sahara area in Karume Road, where the drainage system are claimed not to handle the rainwater, the residents said a larger part of food supply has been destroyed by the rains.
Food has been destroyed and a lot of other things. So we are asking the government to dig more water holes which can collect all this water and stop destroying our things. And also the health of our children. Some children have even been washed away with this water. I have come here, but they have just passed as if they didn't see me, while I'm here representing the citizens. Then if that is the case, then let me leave and let them carry their duties, since they don't respect any leaders. We are trying to look on ways to solve this problem and end it once and for all.
A few days after President John Pombe Magufuli directed the engineer of Hainan company from China that is building the Sibiti River Bridge, which is a connector between Simiyu and Singida region, residents have finally begun to use stairs to pass as construction continues instead of crossing by canoe. The residents thanked their president for ensuring that the bridge is completed on time, as they had been using canoes even during seasonal rains, which endangered their lives.
We are thankful for this bridge. We thank our president, John Pombe Magufuli. Before this bridge, we were suffering a lot. We used to go for auctions with cattle. Sometimes they could even die because of crossing over. But now we are very thankful for this. This bridge has helped me a lot. Before it, people were using those to cross over. After the president came to overlook at our site, we have improved. The bridge, we are done by 90%, and the road, we are done by 80%. By January, people will be able to use the bridge.
The government and development stakeholders have successfully surveyed and presented land ownership certificates for land that is more than 30,000 acres to livestock keepers of the Wadatoga tribe in Ndeshi village, Eyasi Basin of Karatu district. As a result of this move, the government has successfully solved a land conflict between livestock keepers and other communities of the area.
I have been quite satisfied as a government leader to see government propositions are being possible, even to livestock keepers of Tarime. Many thanks also to UCRT for being able to complete this exercise, especially by giving funds which enabled us to do testing and giving knowledge. This is a long procedure which won't take only a month but several. It's my hope that the plans you have set will help you to protect your land and livestock. These results have been brought forth because of you. Now we need to ensure that we overlook on them. We are much aware that the grazing area is almost dried up, and the biggest dependence of livestock keepers is to have more livestock, and livestock depend on the feeding they get from grazing.
And hundreds have continued to flock to Kariako Market in Dar es Salaam to purchase their needs ahead of the end of the year holidays, with them being warned to be careful of robbers.
Money cycle for this season of 2018 is very slow. Business is not going very well, not like many other years. Customers are only coming for window shopping, then leaving. This is a good timing for business, unlike other timings. It's the holiday season, so many people are coming from the village and others are going to the village. So business is going very well. We like this season for shopping because you might get a price discount. Like as you can see me, I am here to get a ball for my son, so he can go and entertain himself. Though the situation is not that good, still kids need to still enjoy themselves.
And that is the end of national news. International news follows next. Weeks before primary schools in Kenya are set to open for the first term, Kenya's National Union of Teachers has announced that they will strike following the move by the Commission to deploy teachers in the country and approval of transfer of over 30,000 teachers.
Tunaomba ieleweke, twaipenda nchi yetu.
Please understand that we love our country and our government, but we've been pushed against a wall. We've been patient for a long time, but we are being played in a cat-and-mouse game. Here is our statement. There will be no school that will be opened on the 2nd of January. So let there be an understanding that this is our decision.
With 2 days left for the elections in the Democratic Republic of Congo and campaigns ongoing, the United Nations has asked citizens to take the opportunity to choose the leaders they want.
I joined the opposition because I'm tired of what those in office have done to us. We get killed. The army disturbs us on the roads. These are some of the reasons why I joined the opposition. And I shall work with our new president who cares for his people. Ebola is here. People are scared and some are dying.
With just a few days left for the general elections in the Democratic Republic of Congo, the government of Rwanda has said that it will support the new government placed by citizens of Congo after the elections are completed.
People of Congo are going to an election. We wish them a peaceful election. We had a good relationship with the government just finishing, and we shall do so with the newly elected government chosen by the people of Congo.
The president of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, has said that he is ready to engage in discussions with the opposition so as to end the current ongoing political unrest witnessed in the country. The talks have been coordinated to take place next year under the supervision of the country's Council of Elders.
It is important to have a discussion. I will not allow any sort of accusation, but rather we should have a discussion, so I'm happy to be a part of this dialogue.
And this week, Reporters Without Borders, an international non-profit, non-governmental organization based in Paris, France, that conducts political advocacy on issues relating to freedom of information and freedom of press, presented its annual report on press freedom. Capital Television's Vanessa Victor and Deutsche Welle correspondent Thomas Parra have more to this.
Reporters Without Borders presented their annual report on press freedom from around the world for 2018, and in it they say that 2018 has been the worst year on record for violence and abuse against journalists. With me is Thomas Sparrow, our Deutsche Welle correspondent, to talk further about this. Thomas, with at least 80 killed in connection with their work, such as Saudi Arabian columnist Khashoggi, and a further 348 jailed, 60 held hostage, what does this report, and what were the key issues raised in this report?
Issues that are raised in this report are precisely the figures that you have yourself mentioned, and the fact that they really present a worrying picture as far as journalism and media freedom around the world is concerned. The report not only states these statistics that you mentioned, 80 journalists killed, 348 currently in prison, 60 being held hostage. It also goes on to stress that this represents an unprecedented level, and I'm quoting here, of hostility towards media personnel. It then explains those three categories that we've been talking about: journalists being killed, in prison or held hostage, and some of the countries where that is actually happening. It says, for example, that Afghanistan, Syria and Mexico are three of the countries where journalists have been killed. China, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Egypt and Iran, where journalists are being held in prison. Syria, Iraq and Yemen, where they're being held hostage. So you can clearly see that this is an international problem. It's not a problem that's only based in one country or one region of the world. It is something that is really much more broad, and that now requires action by not only organizations but also by governments as well.
Looking through the index, Tanzania has dropped over 20 places in the last 2 years alone of this index. In 2016, we were in 71st, now we're 93. What has it been like for Germany, and what causes are attributed to this?
Exactly. So one thing is this yearly report, which has now come out by Reporters Without Borders, but previously they published the index that you mentioned of press freedom around the world, and the situation there for Europe, although better than other parts of the world, still has worrying patterns. It says, for example, that there were 2 murders this year, that there are threats to investigative reporters, and it also describes, and again I'm quoting, an unprecedented verbal attacks on the media. It says that Europe is a traditionally safe environment for journalists, but that safe environment has begun to deteriorate. Now, in particular, when it comes to Germany, Germany is in position 15th, according to that index. It says there's a strong judiciary, that there are solid constitutional guarantees, but that there are worrying new laws, and one of the worrying new laws that it mentions is this social media hate speech law, and you may remember that we discussed that law, and we discussed also this index earlier this year here during our cross. So all in all, it presents a good picture for Germany, but also with worrying signs, and one of the worrying signs that it described in that index report is that far-right groups and demonstrators sometimes also harass journalists.
That's very true. We did discuss it earlier, and Germany seems to be doing a good job, so we still have to work a bit on that. But apart from highlighting the situations in all the countries, does this report generally get worked on by countries such as Germany to improve these ratings?
Well, when you have organizations like Reporters Without Borders, that's a non-governmental organization producing these kinds of reports, highlighting violence against journalists around the world, those are certainly reports, and that is certainly information that is taken very seriously by governments in different parts of the world, and then governments in different parts of the world have to try and react to this information, try and obviously make sure that it is dealt with, that the situation is improved, that there are guarantees so that those situations are not repeated. Now, if you look, for example, at what organizations are doing, not only what governments are doing, but what different organizations are doing, apart from highlighting these cases, they're also trying to help journalists in different parts of the world, in particular those parts of the world where it is most difficult to work as a journalist, for example, areas where there is war, and also monitoring acts of violence and other problems for journalists and media outlets around the world. So when you have these reports, this information comes out, and then governments obviously try to react accordingly and try to make sure that in the next few years, in the next year especially, the situation improves.
Well, thank you, Thomas. We journalists do quite a bit of a difficult job going to places a lot of people would be terrified to go to. Thank you again for clarifying a bit more about the report, and see you next time.
And that is the end of International News. Business News follows next.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
To be rich, I have to be a business person.
It's not an easy road at all.
People need to understand. You must quickly think, how cost effective are you going to be?
Business acts as a way in which it can bridge that gap.
Business Edition will keep you informed on latest developments in the financial sector, extractive industry, tourism, agriculture, energy, construction, and so much more. Meet entrepreneurs who create employment opportunities. Watch Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
And in business news, Tanzania Postal Bank has said it has successfully completed connection of their banking systems with Twiga Bank Corp and the Women's Bank, as well as to provide employment to employees of the bank at TPB PLC.
za wafanyakazi kuwapangia nini wafanye ulishakamilika.
We finished delegation of duties to staff on who is to do what, so it is very much business as usual. Concerned customers have had their accounts transferred to our system, meaning that operation-wise we are ready. We have consumer loans for individuals or staff of institutions from different walks of life. So once they come to us, we shall offer them a loan based on an employee's salary, to be used for development projects such as construction of a house or buying a piece of land.
Kununua viwanja na kadhalika.
Tanzania Official Seed Certification Institute has conducted an inspection to various seed shops in Songea Municipal Ruvuma region and discovered various deficiencies, including a poor shortage of seeds, directing farmers to purchase seeds from the shops certified by TOSI.
I urge farmers to make sure when buying seeds, they do so from shops certified by TOSI, and they should ask to see certification.
And the residents of Serengeti district in Mar region dealing with small-scale businesses have commended President Dr. John Magufuli for giving them identification, which they say will enable them be recognized by government authorities and alleviate the constant disturbance they went through.
I commend the President of United Republic of Tanzania for issuing these ID cards because we were mistreated. I had no money to pay for a business license, so I used to be treated badly by those in office. Anyone who uses deception to acquire an ID card, right measures will be taken against him. In addition, the guilty party will be forced to give up the ID card. Today, 336 ID cards will be issued.
kuwaonea wafanyabiashara wadogo.
That's the end of business news. Sports news follows shortly.
Hi, my name is Kotaro Tokuda.
What's up? My name is Cyril Garnier.
I'm John Barnes from Liverpool Football Club. The hip, hop, a hippie, the hip, hip, hop. You don't stop the rockin' to the bang, man. Boogie say up, jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what you hear?
I'm watching Sports Gazette.
I'm watching Sport Gazette.
And you're watching Sports Gazette.
With Sebastian.
With Sebastian. Peace out.
Yes! And you can also watch Sports Gazette for highlights and interviews regarding sports. Do not miss Sports Gazette every Wednesday at 7 p.m. only on Capital Television.
And in sports news, now the draw for the Total 17 Africa Cup of Nations Tanzania 2019 will take place on Thursday, 28th December 2018 at the Mlimani City Conference Center in Dar es Salaam. The qualified teams are host Tanzania, Angola, Cameroon, Guinea, Morocco, Nigeria, Senegal and Uganda. The final tournament will be held from 14th to 28th of April 2019 in Dar es Salaam, with the semi-finalists qualifying to represent the continent at the FIFA Under-17 World Cup in Peru 2019. And that sports item ends our news bulletin. My name is Khadija Zimbo. Thank you for watching and good night.
Kitabu cha Dr. Reginald Abraham Mengi kitwacho I Can, I Must, I Will sasa kinapatikana kwenye maduka ya kuuza vitabu yafuatayo: Dar es Salaam, A Novel Idea, Slipway Msasani, Yacht Club Road, Msasani Peninsula, The Book Cave, Mbezi Rainbow, Social Club